Hey all, and welcome to Shadow Space, and we are commenting on another BCP video. This is called Liberals Demand Elon Musk be thrown in prison for stealing 2024 election with Trump using Starlink. This was uploaded May 21st. This is being recorded May 22nd, and links in the description.
Ashley St. Clair, who's the mother of one of Elon Musk's many children, recalled a conversation she had with him ahead of the 2024 election, in which he said that he was using space satellite technology to cause a, quote, anomaly in the matrix. She says in October, 1 month before the election, Elon tells me he's ready to release, in his words, an anomaly in the matrix. And she says, who's that? Then he says that he has 10,000 lasers in space, referring to satellites. She said at this point she became uncomfortable because she knew the gravity of what he was trying to tell her. She continued by saying Elon told her, you know, this is not a piece they'll see on the chessboard. Going on to say, and I straight up tell him, I would ask more, but I really don't want to be deposed, to which he says, very wise. This is a clear implication that Elon Musk was doing something that both she and him also knew was illegal, and she wanted plausible deniability. She continues by saying shortly after that he's involved with America Pact and all this other stuff, and he's sending me internal data from America Pact, real-time delta vote metrics. She adds, I should also say that I have all of this backed up with many people with explicit instructions should anything happen to me. She should absolutely be subpoenaed to testify under oath before Congress. Remember, Elon spent almost $300 million to help Republicans win during the 2024 election, and if he used technology to illegally interfere, he must be prosecuted and imprisoned.
Boy. So we got to talk about the left going full blue and on once again, because apparently they have not gotten over the fact that they lost the 2024 election, right? That Kamala Harris lost, okay? They are still claiming that the 2024 election was stolen, and
it's complete hypocrisy. They sit here and say that Donald Trump cannot say that his election was stolen. But these people are free to say that Donald Trump stole his election, and that's fine.
Accusing Elon Musk of stealing the election on behalf
but
of
maybe he did it.
Trump. Now, their theory is that Elon Musk stole the election using Starlink, right? Using satellites. Now, here's the thing. If somebody on the right had come up with this type of theory, okay, and to say that, the election was stolen in 2020 by using satellites and stuff like that, they would say that you're a crackpot, right? That you're full-blown cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, insane. But in Blue Anon circles, apparently it is totally acceptable to hear crazy claims about Elon using Starlink and satellites to steal the election. And these people just run with it as if, oh yeah, that's totally plausible, right? That's totally reasonable. Okay, there's no reason to ask questions, especially considering where this information is coming from. Now, again, there was already speculation about this before this video that we're going to talk about. But Elon's latest baby mama, who's also very, very, very upset with Elon Musk, okay, because Elon does not want to wife her up, is hinting that Elon stole the election for Trump. And the Blue Anon conspiracy theorists, again, are running with this as if it is factual without questioning the source of this information and her motivations behind putting out this information, considering how since Elon decided that, hey, he doesn't want to be with her, right? Since he pumped and dumped her, right? Like literally pumped and dumped her. She's been mad, right? She's been really upset. And, leftists don't care about that, though. They don't care. They just want to hear whatever backs up their worldview, right? They already believe that Trump stole the election in 24. It is unbelievable in their minds that Trump actually won fair and square. So, therefore, this is vindication for them. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Elon Musk's baby mother and, of course, former MAGA insider Ashley St. Clair.
I mean, I can only say it so often. It's peak culture. I'm sorry.
She dropped an absolutely terrifying truth bomb on us the other day that I'm going to play for you here in just a second. Now, we had Ashley on Crystal Kylan, friends, and I highly recommend you go check out that interview. It is absolutely mind-boggling. The inside tea that she has on these vile, disgusting, deranged MAGA cretins. So highly recommend you check that out.
Let me say this. As you guys should know, I'm not a big fan of talking about right-wing drama, right? I'm not a big fan of infighting amongst the right. But I will say this, right? Considering all the drama and stuff like that you guys see, that's part of the reason why you don't really see me in some of those right-wing celebrity circles, right? You don't really see me at the Mar-a-Lago parties and all this other stuff. I stay away from that, right?
Yeah.
I stay far away from this
Honestly, I don't blame you.
celebrity aspect of all of this, right? I'm not interested in that. I'm only interested really in giving my opinions, really talking to the people, and covering the news and, doing my job. That's what I'm interested in, more so than getting involved with the influencer culture, right? On the right.
It just,
And on the
it
left.
starts to look so much like this, where they are where they purposefully look for things to try to go after people.
Either, right? Like I'm just not into that, right? So, I guess what I'm saying is that when it comes to all the right-wing drama, I don't really like to talk about it. I don't really like to cover it. I don't really like to get involved with it, right? I don't even really like going to the events. It's just not my thing, right? So I just wanted to put that out there.
But listen to what she says here about Elon. And when they were together, Elon would open up to her about all sorts of stuff. And one of the things he opened up about,
I guess for what it's worth, I don't think it should matter.
is the election and the role that
You do
he
it for what you
played in
want.
the election, and how perhaps he had quite a bit of control over the outcome of the 2024 election. So here we go.
I mean,
let's listen.
it's the people who watch that decide. I put a video out, you put a video out.
And then October rolls around.
I can be a dick. I can get heated. I can be calm. I can make bad points. I can not know things. Like,
in October, Elon
ain't
tells
it the
me
thing?
that he is ready to release his, in his words, anomaly in the Matrix. And I am like, oh, like, who's that? And he says that he has 10,000 lasers in space, referring to his satellites. I say, because I am like rather uncomfortable and I know the gravity of what he's trying to tell me right now, I say, wow, finally a focus on the Jewish vote. He keeps going and he says, this is not this is not a piece that they'll see on the chessboard. And I straight up tell him, I say, I would ask more, but I really don't want to be deposed. To which he says, very wise. Shortly after that, he's involved with America PAC and all of this other stuff, and he's sending me some internal data from America PAC, real-time Delta vote metrics. And I am just like, how the fuck do you have this sort of data? You don't get this from door knocking, because that was one of my first jobs in politics was in campaigns and cleaning up this bad data from door knocking, because the vendors that America PAC is using at this point is a vendor that hires Craigslist crackheads for door knocking, and I wish I was exaggerating there, but I'm not. I know, like, I have caused harm with my rhetoric. However, I never sought out to cause harm. Like, there were parts of me that really wanted the best for the country, for America, for democracy. And one thing is, I have always hated big tech.
Wow. Wow. So you've always hated big tech, but yet you let the biggest big tech CEO, the richest big tech CEO.
Well, I mean, she didn't hate it before. She hates it now.
On earth.
I have a feeling it's more I have a feeling it's more because she has to listen to it. She has to hear about it, all of the internal politics and all of the nonsense. Like,
All up inside of you.
yeah,
I apologize for the language, but I just want people to understand how delusional modern women are, right? Some modern women, like this woman, she hates big tech, right? I hate big tech, but you let Elon Musk, who again is the biggest, richest big tech CEO in the world, you let him plant his seed inside of you, right? You laid down with him.
peak culture. I like. I understand this is difficult to grasp. That's where we are now. People don't get married.
I guess she loves the
Why?
money more than she hates
Like,
big tech.
there was that the one guy with the one girl and her boyfriend that she was living with wouldn't pay her, wouldn't marry her until she paid off her student loans. Why get married? Just that was your point in the video, is until you have leverage you shouldn't even, like, when you're as powerful a person in as powerful a position as Elon Musk is, like,
I'm just saying that this right here, just hearing that, right? Just hearing that statement, should have automatically set off some signals, right? Some alarm bells to anybody with common sense that, hey, this woman is bitter, right? She's bitter, and that maybe I shouldn't believe anything that she says, because clearly she's upset that Elon pumped and dumped her, right? That Elon is not wifing her, right? I think it's very, very, very clear that's what's going on here. And anything that she says about Elon probably should be met with skepticism, because she's bitter and she's seeking revenge because he doesn't want to be with her, which she should have known this, because Elon got a lot of baby mamas. She's just one of many, okay? And I mean, I guess the dude's goal is to be like Genghis Khan, right? Just populate and seed as many women as possible.
oh, because I said this too, that the only logical conclusion to feminism is just polygamy or harems. So, I mean, yeah,
I don't know, right?
That
I
makes
have no
sense.
clue. But, you know, ultimately in the day, she's just mad and she's bitter. But again, listen to these leftists. Listen to these blue-on freaks like Kyle Kalinske, whose wife, by the way, has pictures of herself sucking dildos on the internet, right? I just want people to understand who we're dealing with here, right? The type of individual that we're dealing with. Like, there's no surprise that somebody like him would believe, right? This woman, right?
Another valid way for women to make money on the internet.
In her claims, okay? Because I mean, look who's he's in a relationship with. Clearly, he's a sucker. So I'm just saying.
Well, I mean,
that
I guess the real question is, has he have? Well, I guess I won't say.
Leftists, blue and on, they're gonna run with this as if it's factual, when clearly this woman is bullshitting.
So then to have arguably the most powerful man in the world, who is sending me things about, using his space technology in the election. I should also say that I have all of this backed up with many people with explicit instructions should anything happen to me, okay? But this was something that I was internally wrestling with, while publicly not really showing that I was having any of these internal ethical conflicts with myself regarding this information. And then on election night itself, Elon, left Mar-a-Lago early. I was at Mar-a-Lago, and he told me over text. He's like, "Yeah, I knew hours ago that Trump won. My team has the best real-time data anywhere." First of all, how the fuck do you have real-time data on elections? How do you have real-time data?
I guess I'm confused as to whether he was referring to the fact that it was his technology that was going to be handling this election data, or whether he was talking about whether he was manipulating it or not. I don't think what you're saying he was saying is what he was saying, but I could be
Okay,
wrong.
I'm going to
I
answer
don't
all
know.
these questions, right? I'm going to answer all these questions with logic, reason, and facts, right? But I just want to let this finish because I just want you guys to see and understand how deranged these individuals are.
I could not understand that. I don't know that I ever will.
Because it's metrics. When 60% of the vote is in, and it's already split to where even if that last 40% were to go in, it wouldn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. You already know. It wasn't that long ago, so they could have even when 50% of the vote was in, they could have used their AI and been like, what do you think the outcome is going to be based on this data? And it could have told them. This is in the old days when information was traveled via wire, the people that were first on the line would be the first people to get the information. So the idea is that if you could patch into the line before that first person, then you could know what the outcome was going to be before it actually made it to that first station. So you could potentially place your bet before it closed if you knew what the outcome was going to be, so that you could win, so that you could hit big. Lost my train of thought.
I saw some shit, guys. Like, I saw some shit, and I'm fighting really hard to keep my voice because I saw shit that impacts everyone. And if I was self-interested, I have been offered the
And yet you're making a video basically advertising on the internet that you have this information.
self-interested deal to shut up and not talk about anything.
Oh, with the other thing. So if he's the one who owns the line, then yes, he is going to be the very first person, and he is going to have that information before anyone else gets it.
What I can tell you is
There
I've
you
not been
go.
offered
Sorry.
certain deals just because I know that he's weird, okay? I saw some shit.
He's weird, but you slept with him though,
He's an eccentric billionaire?
right?
Wow. Who would have predicted?
She hates big tech. She thinks Elon is weird, right? She does nothing but talk trash about the guy, but she still slept with him. And she's still bitter because Elon doesn't want to be with her, right? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. You know, I guess money, right, overcomes a lot, right? When you got money, when you're somebody like Elon Musk, right? Even people who claim that they hate you, your type, they're willing to open their legs and to take your seed, right? They're willing to have your kid simply because you're rich, right? It's just kind of crazy how that works. How
No, I don't understand how either of those things happen.
women think.
So she's implying, if not outright saying there, that Elon told her that he fucked with the election and stole it for Trump. That's the not so subtle message here. That is a huge, huge deal that she's now out there saying this. She claims she has receipts, basic evidence of him saying such things. Like
Then why wouldn't she just come forward with it? Why wouldn't she just blast it? Why would she hold it as some sort of like blackmail ransom? Like, I'm gonna leak all this if I'm going to leak all this. Like, what is the ultimatum here? Why isn't she releasing it? She feels like it would be some sort of like she would be somehow harmed because of it.
we can verify every single
I
part
guess
of her
that's
story
possible.
here, which I don't deny.
I have no
because
idea.
She's brought many receipts in the past as well when talking about these vile, disgusting MAGA cretins. But this is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. I mean, I remember we had on Crystal Kyle and Friends Greg Palast. Greg Palast is a legendary reporter. And I remember that he laid out his case. Now, according to Greg Palast, Kamala won the election and Trump lost the election. But he says the Republicans stole it using basically their old bag of tricks of ballot spoiling and ballot purging and Jim Crow tactics in a bunch of different states.
AKA election integrity, right? They stole it by making sure that people who weren't supposed to be voting aren't voting, right? Amazing.
You can challenge a ballot and it gets thrown out, and then you have to, they flip the burden of proof and make it so like it's automatically thrown out, and then you fill out a provisional ballots, but only like half the provisional ballots get counted. You don't have to take my word for any of this. You can go watch the Crystal Kyle and Friends thing that we did with Greg Palast. You can get all of the details because he explains it in a tremendous amount of detail. But Greg Palast said to us, because I asked him specifically about this theory that Elon Musk, was able to use his technological ability to basically hack the election and steal it for Trump using like Starlink effectively.
She didn't say that. That's not what she said. She said some nonsense about lasers and something else that I don't remember that didn't have anything to do with stealing an election or rigging ballots or anything.
And his take on it was like,
I have no idea what she
that
said.
theory I don't believe at all.
I
He
have
was
no
like,
idea.
that I don't
And
see how
I'm not going to go back and watch it again.
we can do that, and I've never
She
seen
said absolutely nothing.
evidence to that effect. So Greg Palast, who says he thinks Kamala won about 280 electoral college votes, and Kamala did win the election, he says Elon didn't actually steal it. However,
Yeah, the person who thinks that the election was stolen thinks that the election was stolen? Wow. Who would have predicted?
now you have Ashley St. Clair saying
He must be a genius.
he did, and he basically implied it, if not outright, said it to her. And don't forget, y'all, this is not the first time we've had this conversation, okay? In the wake of the election, remember these stories that were told? Remember these curious things that were said by Trump, by Elon, by others? Listen to this, guys.
We don't need votes. I tell my people, I don't need any votes. We got all the votes we need. I don't need votes. We don't need votes. We got more votes than anybody's ever had.
That is a weird thing to say, isn't it? This was on the campaign trail leading up to the election, and he keeps saying, we don't need votes. We don't need votes. We don't need your votes.
No, actually, because now, in hindsight, it sounds like exactly the same sort of rhetoric that he uses in Iran. So, no.
Basically the opposite of what every politician says. Every politician is like, get out there and vote. Get out there and vote for me. Vote for us. Vote the party line. Vote. Here he's going, I don't need your votes. And he said it over and over and over and over and over. Let's keep going.
You don't have to vote. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but you excluded the last part where he said that he already had the votes, which would imply that the Republicans already love me. I don't have to worry about winning them over because I already know that I'm the best candidate and they're going to vote for me.
The voting, we got plenty of votes. We can take the Senate pretty easily. And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret.
Our little secret is having an impact. Bro, what? What?
He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over. You know, computers are the greatest. He looked at some that were just shipped in, some of these vote counting computers. He knew it before it even came in the door. He looked like at the back of it. Oh, I know that one.
I'm a technologist. I know a lot about computers. And I'm like, the last thing I would do is trust a computer program.
Oh, my word. Look, man, take it or leave it, believe it or don't believe it, but good googly moogly. This, like, y'all are not helping your case here. You know, every single thing you're saying here is just short of like, yeah, I stole that shit and I'd do it again. Like, what the fuck?
Trust a computer program. Because it's just too easy to hack. It's too easy to add just one.
I don't know what that means. It could mean anything. It could mean the fact that they were going to have Starlink, which would mean that the signal was going to be pretty fast, stable, and like there's no implication here that anything was stolen. I don't.
Oh, my word. Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah. So you guys get the gist of what's going on here, right? Again, this is for Blue and On. Any right-winger making claims like this, in fact, right-wingers that did make claims like this after the 2020 election, claiming that the machines were hacked, right? Yeah, you got erased from the internet. Like, literally got erased from the internet. There are people who lost their platforms for making these same types of claims that leftists are now currently making about the 2024 election. The truth is that the 2024 election was not stolen from Kamala Harris, okay? Elon Musk did not steal the election. What Elon was probably referring to was data collection methods using the technology that he has access to. So whatever that technology is, I don't know whether it's Starlink or something else. I have no clue. But somebody that is technologically savvy as
I guess there was the one video that he played near the end where they said they had a secret weapon, and they said that they were going to say what that secret weapon was after he won. Did he ever say what that secret weapon was? And if he didn't, then what was it?
Elon Musk getting involved in politics, getting involved in elections. Yeah, I mean, when you talk about data collection and being able to collect pristine...
Let's not assume we know what they're talking about, and let's ask them and see what they're talking about.
Data, right? Good data. Yeah, I'm sure Elon Musk is very involved in that, right?
I don't know what it means. Secret weapon. It could be anything. It could be a golden spatula.
Collect that type of data, it becomes easier to make
and
predictions.
Then
like,
you would look like a big silly pants, wouldn't you?
Example, when Elon...
You would look like a big fool.
Hours before Trump won. Also on my channel as well, too. You go back, you can find videos there.
Laser beams in
I was
space
also saying the
somehow.
same thing, right? Just based off the data that was coming in, because I understood historically how people voted, right? So when I started to see the exit polling and some of the trends that were happening in key states, like, for example, in Georgia, right? When I started to see those election results roll in, when I saw the early voting data from Republicans versus Democrats, like, it was clear.
We've been watching these primaries. You see it in the primaries. There's only like 60%, but the split is already wide enough to where a clear winner is already pretty well decided before it's actually over. You don't need all the votes.
That Trump was going to win.
That idea that how did he know hours before the election was actually over? He knew before the election was over.
I was posting videos on election day literally saying, yeah, according to the data that's coming in, again, this is hours before Trump was declared the winner, right? This was early in the day. This was like in the afternoon when the election data started coming in. When it first started coming in, I was like, oh, yeah. It looks like Trump is going to win, right? That Trump certainly won based off these exit polls. That's the same thing that Elon was doing. It's just about...
Oh, I'm gonna have to get more water.
Understanding the historical trends and what actually happened on election day, and as it was happening, you could easily make a prediction and say, okay, yeah, based off historical trends and what's happening right now, this is the expected outcome, right? I was doing the exact same thing. So again, this is not Elon, right, outright stating that he rigged the election. Nothing that
Well,
she said, in my opinion,
that isn't her outright stating that he said that he rigged the election.
is evidence or proof, or even really comes close to the claim that Elon used Starlink to literally switch votes, right? Or to hack machines, or to steal the election. He may have used it for, I don't know, data collection, or in conjunction with his super PAC or whatever. I'm not entirely sure, right? But that's probably as far as it goes, right? I don't think that he was
I don't
responsible
know.
for actually hacking any machines, or, you know, changing any votes, which is what Blue Anon is implying, because all of these idiots predicted that Kamala Harris would win. You guys remember Kyle Kulinski predicting that Kamala Harris would win Iowa, right? These people running around claiming that Kamala's going to win Iowa, right? This is what they were saying. So these people obviously suffer massive damage to their reputations with their terrible predictions, their terrible election predictions. And then they're trying to redeem themselves by saying, well, see, Elon actually stole it. Kamala actually won, right? And it's like, no. You're just an idiot, right? You're just an idiot. And you have.
Well, is there any irony that the people that were sitting there yelling, "We have the safest elections anywhere in the world," are now sitting here and saying that our elections are stolen?
Have to be an idiot to believe
All of a
everything
sudden, overnight, in one election, all of the safeguards were completely blown away, and none of them could possibly stop Elon Musk and his technology. He was simply too good for you.
that comes out of Ashley St. Clair's mouth, especially considering how she's a bitter baby mama, and she has every incentive in the world to try to undermine Elon Musk and the MAGA movement. So why would you, again, believe somebody like this when, again, clearly her motivations are not pure, right? This is somebody who's very mad. She's very upset, and she's trying to get revenge on Elon and MAGA, right? As a result of the situation that she put herself in, right? She claims that she hates the industry that this guy is in, that he's weird, that she doesn't like the guy, but yet she slept with him and had his kid, okay? That in and of itself should be enough to tell anybody with common sense that this woman is not credible. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
I don't know. This kind of sounds... I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get his interpretation of it. How would you even prove this? You'd almost have to get the records and see if they matched what the official results were. I don't know. I don't think they stole it. I don't think anyone I don't think an election has been stolen. I don't think there has been a stolen election. I don't think that's happened. I don't know why people think that.